Hey, welcome back to Life on the Wrist. Hope you're doing well. So we've spoken about a lot of very expensive watches on the channel recently, and I wanted to make sure that we're reiterating one of the most important things that we say on this channel is that fact that you don't have to spend that much money in order to enjoy watches and to get a very high quality piece that you can wear on your wrist every day. Wearing a watch just in general is a luxury. We say this very, very often on this channel. You can get the time off of your phone. You don't need to be wearing a watch. It's just that extra little thing that you can have on your watch. So it doesn't matter how much money you spend. So today we're going to be discussing 10 watches that you can get for under around $100. This is obviously by no means extensive. This is just 10 watches that came to mind when I thought about this topic. I hope this is going to give you a little bit some ideas of watches that you can perhaps research and find out more about. I'm not going to go very deep into the history of them or the movements or anything like that. I'm going to kind of just give you a range, a couple names. You can do some research on them, but I think these are great value for what you're putting into buying these watches. But before we get into that, if you are new to Life on the Wrist, welcome to the channel. We create videos about just about anything within watches. So if you do like those types of videos, be sure to check out our other videos on our channel. And while you are checking out those videos, be sure to hit the subscribe button so you can see all the videos that we release. Really would help us out. Also, while you're by that subscribe button, the like button is very, very close. Be sure to give us a thumbs up before this video starts. That really does help us out. So the list of 10, like I said, is going to not be exhaustive. It also is not going to be extremely detailed. It's going to just, the point of this video is to give you some ideas about watches that you can perhaps look into and perhaps will be your next purchase. Who knows? If it is, let me know in the comment section below. So the first watch, and this probably comes to no surprise to many of you, is the Seiko 5. This really, Seiko is probably one of the best entry-level brands that you can possibly think of. I made a video about my first Seiko that I ever received, so be sure to check that out. It was last week's video. So the Seiko 5 is really all you need in a watch. It's really great quality. I love the fact that the Seiko 5 range also has a lot of variety. So if you are looking for something specific, the Seiko 5 line really does go quite wide. Obviously Seiko is a wonderful Japanese brand that is of good quality. The accuracy is obviously not going to be something like a Patek Philippe or Vacheron Constantin or anything like that. However, it's going to get the job done. It will tell you the time. Most of the time Seiko watches are extremely legible, so if you have issues with that, that's another great reason to go with the Seiko 5. I've never owned a Seiko 5, but I've handled them a lot, and it really is all you need in a watch. Also, if you like to accessorize your watches a little bit more, Seiko 5 lends itself to switching out straps, putting on NATOs, all those types of things. So that allows you to kind of enjoy the watch with a lot more different types of looks. So the Seiko 5 is definitely my number one. The second watch is the Timex Waterbury. This is an aviation style watch from Timex. I think Timex presents amazing value. This is obviously a modern watch These are modern watches that I'm discussing, but vintage Timex also looks really cool if you're into vintage watches. So, but the Timex Waterbury is obviously an aviation style watch. Timex has a great selection of watches you can choose and a really large variety. I like the fact that it kind of reminds me of the big Pilot with the aviation style hands. If that's something that you're interested in but don't want to spend big Pilot money, the Timex Waterbury is a great kind of middle ground. It also is a decently robust watch, so you don't have to worry about dinging it too much, so that's always a great thing. So that was my second one. The third pick is just a brand because they have such variety in the watches that they sell, and that is Swatch. We've spoken about them before. I personally think it's one of the best entry-level watches you can buy, hands down. I'm speaking specifically about the Swatch System 51. Obviously that's a little bit more expensive than $100, but Swatch does create watches that are a little bit less. We did a giveaway of a Swatch System 51, but I love the fact that Swatch has such a wide range of variety. It also has a lot of brand recognition by a lot of people, and there is a huge collector's market for swatches because of the different little quirks and nuances and different color schemes that they have. They also have some that that are related to specific events that go on, but it's a great brand to get into, and you can really have fun with the types of watches that you purchase, and you're not going to have to spend an arm and a leg for it. I know I think Swatch, there's some swatches you can buy for about $79 new, so if you look on the secondhand market where they may be lightly used or something like that, I'm sure you can get them for much less. So Swatch just in general is one of the best brands that you can possibly look into. The fourth watch is the Casio Edifice. This is a larger watch. It's a chronograph, so if you're looking for that type of functionality in the watch that you want to wear every day for under $100, that's a good place to look. Obviously, Casio creates very great quartz watches, and if that's something that you're looking into so you don't have to maintain it as often, this is a great place to look. It's a little bit larger, so if your wrists are bigger than mine, then, which is probably most of you, then it'll fit your wrist very nicely. Obviously, Casio makes robust watches, so you're not going to have to break them. There are a lot of themes that I think I'm going to speak about for just about every one of these picks, but it's because I think these are great criteria for you to have for the watches. So the Casio Edifice was the next one. Number 5 is the Seiko Sports Analog. This might be kind of a little bit more towards what I'm interested in, but I'm super into renewable energies. I think that's something that we need to be conscious about, especially moving forward into the future is trying to be as renewable as possible. I like the Seiko Sports Analog because it's a solar powered watch, so you don't actually have to switch out the battery as much, which means there's really you're minimizing the amount of maintenance that you're going to have to do on the watch. It's also a larger size, very, very legible, and yeah, it's a great pick. The Seiko Sports Analog, solar powered, you don't have to really do much maintenance on it at all, and it fits most people's wrists, so great watch to look into. The 6th watch is the Citizen EcoDrive. I like this watch because it's kind of a military style. I'm trying to suggest watches that have a nice range to them, so if that's something that you're looking into, military style, Citizen EcoDrive is perfect for that. It's a very rugged watch. It's not going to, you don't have to be too dainty with it. I know it has comes on Zulu straps, but you can probably switch those out if you're interested in something else, which again, you can be a little bit more versatile on how you want to dress that watch, up or down or sideways, whatever you want to do with it. The Citizen EcoDrive is definitely a good pick. The Citizen is obviously a great, again, a great entry-level brand, which is why it's on this list, so you can't go wrong with the EcoDrive. The 7th is, probably you guys have thought about this already, but it's a GShock. It's not everyone's taste. It's very, extremely robust. It's basically just the ultimate beater. It's not everyone's taste. It's not really my taste, but I know that a lot of individuals like it. They're inexpensive, very robust, and really all you need in a watch. It also comes with some pretty cool features. I don't know all of them exactly, but there are some really interesting, I guess you can call them complications, but they're not really in the traditional sense. But GShock is a good beater to have, and I know that a lot of collectors enjoy having them in their watch collection, so they don't have to be too careful with it. So the 8th pick, and this is again not really my taste, but I know that a lot of individuals like it, and that is a Vostok Amphibia. It has a great movement that is just a powerhouse. There's also many different variations of the dial, so you can really have, if you decide to collect Vostok Amphibias, you can really have fun with the variations of the dial that you have. It's obviously a dive watch, so it's going to be very robust, that type of styling, very toolistic, so Vostok Amphibia is definitely a good choice. The 9th watch is the Orient Bambino. This is a little bit more to my taste than the GShock or the Vostok. It's a great brand. Orient is, again, an amazing entry-level watch brand. I think it also has extremely classic styles. It's a little bit more elegant compared to some of the other sports watches that we've discussed. So if you're looking for something like that, maybe you want to wear it only on special occasions, or perhaps when you go out to eat, you want a nice watch that you can enjoy on your wrist that kind of fits a little bit more into a classic, elegant styling. Orient Bambino is a perfect example of that. Also comes with a mechanical movement. So if you are into that type of, if you're a little bit more into that as opposed to quartz watches, you can enjoy, winding your watch or just researching the mechanical aspects behind it. So Orient Bambino is my 9th pick, and my 10th pick is a brand that I've discussed previously, but it's the Timex Expedition. The 36mm version. It's obviously a really nice size for me, especially with my smaller wrists. It's a nice size. I think Timex, obviously, like I said previously, is a great brand for you to get into, especially at the entry-level point. It's all you really need in a watch. 36mm is great. The dial is very, very simple, easy to read, and all you really need in a watch, right? It tells the time. So I hope you enjoyed those 10 picks. if you're interested in getting some more information on them, be sure to reach out to me. I can maybe point you in the right direction. If you want me to kind of give you some sources where you can buy these, be sure to reach out. I'd love to help you out. Let me know in the comment section below what you think is a great watch to buy for under $100. This is obviously a community. We want to be as helpful to everyone who ends up watching this video. So read the comments, maybe there's some good suggestions there. And if you have made it this far and you haven't already, be sure to give us a thumbs up for the picks that we have. And if you don't like them, just give us a thumbs up anyway. It really does help us out. And be sure to subscribe to our channel. We upload videos on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday of every week. So hit the bell icon to be notified when those do go live. And with that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time.